Welcome to CCN News Media, you guys. Take just a moment to introduce yourself. Take a moment and tell folks who you are one at a time, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Wanda Muhammad, and happy to be here this New Year's with you guys, and looking forward to sharing this conversation.
Absolutely.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. This is Constance Henry, and I am overjoyed to be here with you today.
Yeah, this is Mike Perkins that just joined. I was invited by Obi.
Oh, wonderful. Hi, Mike. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. Thank you.
Obi,
Obi, how
how
you
you
doing?
doing? I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Excellent. So introduce yourself.
I'm Obi Wordlaw with the video of Follow the Money from A to Z.
A to Z. Everybody hear that? A to Z. You want to tell them a little bit about your show, Obi, and then we'll get started?
I'm discussing things that how money is, where money is, and how we need to ask everybody that has a budget, federal, state, and local, where is my piece? Not black and brown, but where's the black piece?
Where's my piece? Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this evening? I'm Wanda Carter. We're talking about. Do you think that there is a possibility that we're going to have a global war? I mean, with our new president coming aboard and all the changes that he's enacting, I thought that we need to think about how we as a people will respond to any kind of wars that are going to be resulting from the things that he's doing as the new president. The floor is open. I'd really like to hear your opinions on what do you think? How should we prepare ourselves? And then let's, like you said, Obi, instead of thinking of the negative side of what will happen if we had a global war, let's talk about what we can do to prepare ourselves so that we can be enabled to do whatever we need to do if there is such a war.
I
And
think I think we have should have. I think we're a day late, but not a dollar short. And what
okay,
I mean by that, throughout all the wars that have been going on with Ukraine, Israel, etc., there's money being spent, and our children are participating in those war efforts. And the money that is being spent, how are we benefiting from what is going on and the information that we should be receiving from the people that represent us so that we could know how to fight or have dialogue among each other on how to participate or benefit from the situations that are going on. So money from A to Z is being extrapolated throughout this world, and our money is part of that. And are we getting any of it back?
are we getting any of it back? What say you, Sandra? You have worked in the government for a long time, and you've seen many administrative changes. What say you about this new president and the environment that we're going to be in with his new regime?
Uh, Good evening.
Good
First of all,
evening.
Trump is just like any other incoming person who doesn't have a clue. Um, he can't make the changes that he's alleging that he's going to make. Even if he signs executive orders, they can always be rescinded. Moreover, he's not going to be able to do that much in 4 years. I mean, it just doesn't happen like that. And he doesn't have Congress behind him, including some of his own Republicans are not behind him. So I mean, he's a person who likes to sensationalize and cause hysteria, and he plays on the ignorance of Americans. And even from his first term, Americans have not gotten any smarter. They haven't gotten any wiser. They don't seek knowledge. They don't try to get accurate information. People tend to believe what's on the internet. That is so scary to me. It's amazing. It's not scary in a sense where I'm afraid. It's scary, like you say, when you see this really dumb, scary stuff. Like that's really scary for them to be that dumb. Um, And I again, he's gonna do the same thing. He's gonna introduce the same hysteria, the same fears, the same doubts. He's a predator. He's gonna play on the weaknesses of Americans, and Americans don't have any more fortitude. They lack integrity. Again, like I said, the best thing is knowledge, and it's really sad because in the 1900s, the 1900 to be exact, in 1909, when a lot of the organizations for blacks were formulated by other intelligent blacks. And even though they didn't have anything, many of them didn't have a formal education. There was a lot of education through attending churches and being part of the community. And again, the black community was once a closed community, not necessarily because they wanted to be, but that's what they needed to be in order to be safe. And they educated each other.
Yeah.
And now you can't get many black people to have a conversation with a group of blacks. And I mean, and it doesn't matter their income level. And some of the colleges and universities are misleading a bunch of people. I've seen some real dummies come out of DePaul, and I keep saying, you attended DePaul? Are you sure? But but I guess it's all about getting the money, because
Yeah.
it's a business too, just like he was stating a moment ago. Exactly who is making the money and who is profiting off the money. You said
Yeah.
you said something a minute ago about I thought you were going to say how to make money off the war, and I kept saying, well, we won't be making it. We're too low down on the totem pole. But
Yeah, but somebody's making it,
well,
and
big
what?
companies, Boeing, Halliburton, all of them will make it. All
Yeah.
of those big companies that are
So
normally involved, they will be making money. Those who make the tanks, again, believe it or
that's
not,
what Obi
your
was
auto
saying.
your auto industry makes a lot of money every time there is a war. Then we have places like we used to have Rock Island Arsenal, which a lot of people are not even familiar with that. And it's just what they said, especially Chicago. And where's Rock Island?
Now listen. You're right. You're right. Let's get some input from Constance. What do you think about what do you see as a preparation we as a people should make with this new surge insurgents from the president? What how should we strategize? What should be
He's
our
still
strategy?
president elect. Don't give him that title until
Oh,
it's official.
president elect. You're right, president elect. Yeah.
Um, that's a very touchy situation because sometimes I don't want to be too militant. Say arm yourself, go back for plenty of ammunition, arm yourself like that. You never know because I'll be doggone if someone try to run up in my place, and
I
God help them.
yeah.
Okay, but no, you just I'm not saying go looking for anything, but you don't know what to expect because when he get in office, it's gonna go back to white privilege. So
Yeah. That
it's already that, but more so because if he go and let all those folks out of jail or prison that was in there from that January 6th so many years ago, just imagine what other people with mindset he's setting up for the others. Like, okay, you could do whatever you want to. I'm gonna get you out, you know. So
look, and not only that, but look, he did the he's been convicted for what 23 counts or whatever, and every count that he's convicted for, what about the men and women that are in prison for those same alleged
I say
crimes?
let him out. I would say
They
let
should
them
let
all
him
out.
out. They
Let
should
him
let him
out.
out.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
If he get away with it, would make him some just that he had billions and they don't have. But no, the law is the law. Now, if we gonna just allow him to disrupt or change the Constitution or the laws that's been in place for so many years, uh, you anyone that commit a crime,
Should be able
let
to.
him should be able to. No, if you did this guy, he wasn't even the president. No boy, y'all let him out, and this
Yeah,
didn't even. My
he
thing
never.
had
They
that
never.
been somebody else,
That's right.
had that been Obama. He
Yep.
wouldn't have got off of the
Oh,
off the Capitol lawn
you
had
know
he
that.
did something like that.
You know that. You know
The
that.
frog man would have got him mid-air.
Can I
Come
ask a
on now.
question?
Tarred and feathered him. That's what
Can,
they would have did to Obama. They would
can
have
I
tarred and feathered him on the Capitol.
It's so true. So
can
true.
I ask a question to y'all?
Yeah.
How do we fix it? Because we keep telling each other the same thing.
So how do we fix it, Obi? Give us some suggestions.
Well, see, I use the phrase my lane, and I have a lane, and which is dealing with A to Z. Whatever specialty any one of you other people have, and groups that are like-minded like you are, how do we change this so that we don't have that problem affecting us? Because it ain't about Trump, it's about me and you. What do we need to do to make sure we fix this situation that don't affect us? So our children are going to over there in the Middle East, and you can't even be represented in the government in the Middle East. Our children are going to Ukraine, and you can't be represented over there in the government. And the money that we send, like they brought 100,000 white Ukrainians over here and gave them money, and now they're talking about sending black Haitians back. How do we start talking to each other so that everybody throughout the black diaspora start coming over here and we start fixing the issues that's affecting us? Not what they're doing and not what he's doing, but what are we doing?
That's exactly what I'm talking about, Obi. Sandra, you got your hand raised. You have a comment.
Well, he was talking about, first of all, you guys are talking about how do we fix something. Right now, big industry is running the country, and they have been for a while. They came in under Trump. Well, they were actually in under Obama's second term, and they've been running the country, and they've gotten more of a stronghold on the nation. So unless you are part of big industry, you're not going to make any kind of real change. And as far as this thing, and he's got so much chaos going on, like I just said before, they're not going to unify. There's not going to be any real movements because of the kind of people that you're dealing with who don't even understand what it is to actually pick up a cause and fight for something and stick with it. I mean,
I don't agree with that.
they talk about the young people not sticking with anything. Heck, I don't see anybody sticking with anything.
But
Hold
we
And
are. Some of us are.
it's very small groups, which
But that's
again,
all it takes. If you
not
read
not
the
not anymore, not anymore, not
always have
anymore.
been just well, that's a different opinion. So I won't debate.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, not only if it were the people or people movement moving the country, you have that opportunity. But now when it's big money and it's which is part of big industry, it's a whole different game that's being played. The
Let's play the
second
game. Let's learn how to play the game.
the sec
Exactly.
the
Exactly.
the
And, and,
second
and
the
stop
second
being
thing
crabs. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
that's okay. The second thing is, as long as they keep you distracted with trying to deal with other people, first of all, we as Black Americans, again, before we start bringing in anybody else to help them with their cause, we got to take care of our home. We got our own problems here. Before you start saying, "Oh, we're going to go over and run over and help Haiti," that's okay. There are enough Haitians here in America and down in Florida and other places. They have their own income base. I ask all of you to look when you get a chance, and you can go out there and look on the Bureau of Statistics, and they'll give you a demographics of people as far as location, geographical location, demographics to include when you want to say another country, another race, what their money is and how their money is spent and what they spend their money on here. All that information is readily available. The government puts it out every quarter.
Now,
They
Sandra.
have enough money to do and help their own people if they want to. You
Okay.
got to
But
start
they're
helping.
not their
Wait
they're
a minute.
not their people. They're our people.
That's
And
not
we got
true.
to
That's
they,
not true. That and
okay, well let
that's
me
Wait,
the
wait, wait, wait,
biggest.
wait, wait.
That's the
Sandra.
biggest misnomer because when it comes down to it, that's not how they feel about Black Americans. No, and they don't mind letting you know how they feel about Black Americans.
Hold
You
on.
have a
Sandra.
handful who may want to be. I'm gonna finish. You have a
Okay.
handful who might want to say and feel like you but that's not the majority, and that's not those that are the shot callers. That's not what's happening.
Okay, Michael, Obi, I'm gonna let you get your word in, but
No,
Michael
I'm
had
through.
his,
I already done said what I said. It's we got to fix it
yeah.
throughout the diaspora. That means the
Yeah,
Africans, the Haitians, the Jamaicans, and all of us have got to sit down and recognize we're in this same boat together. And it ain't no all. It's only going to take those of us who are aware to keep preaching and teaching, and we can change this. Corporate America is made up of me. The government is me. So you and I get together and decide on what we want to fight for. So if we want to pick one corporation, let's pick one corporation and make an example and move to the next one. We're not helpless and we're not hopeless. Let's keep fighting.
Okay, Michael, you had your hand up. You had a comment?
yeah, I believe that we're already at war. I mean, we're in a financial war, and we're being distracted by a lot of different things. But if we come together as a people, as George Fraser said, we are disconnected people. We have people all over the country, all over the diaspora, and some of us are doing very well, but we're not connected. And we're in different lanes, but we haven't connected those lanes. We haven't connected the dots. And so I believe, as Obi believes, in following the money from A to Z. And we can make some things happen if we could connect with one another and we're able to just rally around a great cause. And right now, we gotta at this point become more financially educated, both the young people, middle aged people, and older people. We got to get a better handle on how we consume things and how we transfer this money throughout our communities. We're gonna fall further behind as far as the big money is concerned. Like I said, a lot of those contracts are already wrapped up. Elon Musk just got another $1.5 billion contract, and he's probably going to get some more while Trump is in office. You got companies like the young lady said, Halliburton and BlackRock. They got their hands in a lot of different things. But the only thing that we can do is with the money we got. We got $2 trillion coming inside of our communities, and how do we best manage the money that we already have? So that's my question for what can we do about managing that money?
So let's come up with, I mean, I guess we're discussing a strategy because everybody's basically saying the same thing, that we need to come up with a way to turn this around for us.
Hey,
We
Wanda
need to,
Carter.
Okay.
yes.
Well, I did talk to an
Oh, hey,
individual.
Margot. Go ahead. I'm
I'm
sorry,
working.
Mike.
There's a young man. He's a former football player, and he created a platform. He calls it Facebook meets YouTube meets Amazon, where people can come in, especially young people, can come in and post their videos, just like you guys are recording right now. Post
Mm,
your videos on his platform, share information. He's got a shopping network that's coming to his channel, so we'll be able to support one another and buy from one another, and then share news amongst what's happening in our own individual communities all across the diaspora. So that's what
that-
he's already he has that in motion right now. As a matter
and
of fact,
so,
he has it built out so that as you participate, you get shares inside of his company.
excellent. That's one way. Okay. Thank you for that suggestion. I appreciate that. Margot, you had a comment.
Yeah, well, can you just poll how many people that are on the show today, tonight, that has their own non for profit or their own businesses?
Can each of you, can you identify if you
Can
have a
yeah,
nonprofit?
non for profit or own their own business? It doesn't have to be a non for profit, but
Okay.
if they are in business,
I
because I
think
kind of
everybody
like.
online is, I think everybody online
So
is,
how many do you have? How many do you have?
okay.
This is
So,
Wanda Muhammad. I have a non for profit.
okay.
This is Constance Henry. I have a non for profit, and I have two non for profits and a LLC.
Okay.
I'm Obi Wardlaw. I had 30 years of medical equipment and supply company as a S corporation, and I am now an activist and an agitator in terms of how to fix our situation from A to Z.
I
But
love
I
it.
know business. I sold all over the world.
See there? All over the
Okay,
world.
come on, Wanda. Can we get the rest of it?
Okay. So, Alan, are you in business or do you have a 501c3?
I don't have a 501c3, but I do operate a business, a small real estate business. I think that everybody is having a I think we all having the same conversation, but I believe that until we'll establish a banking system and a real estate system where we can have our own monies that we can come to one another and circulate the money, I think that we're going to continue to go in circles. So
Wow,
that's
I
my
love that. I
Can
love
we
that
get the
comment
rest
that
of
you
the,
made.
can we get the rest of the call? The rest of the
Okay,
people.
Constance says she has two businesses, I mean, two nonprofits and an LLC. Hi, hey, Jean, what about you? Are you welcome to the show, first of all? Um, you have a business, correct?
That's correct.
Can you introduce yourself?
I am Jane Lockett, and I am the owner of Clean Creations Cleaning Services.
Okay. And
Mhm.
we're talking about what we're going to do to fix the situation about this potential global war. And as so many have already commented, we need to learn how to do business with each other and save our community. So we have an M guest. I'm not sure who that is. Is that you, Margot?
It may
Uh,
be.
okay, Sandra. Sandra, you don't have a business, but you're affiliated with several businesses, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Do you have one of your own or no?
Oh no, never.
Okay. Never. Oh, wow. Wanda Muhammad, what about you?
She mentioned hers.
Huh?
Okay, if it's
Wanda,
my
yeah.
turn,
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
if it's my turn, I would like to speak to the original question.
Okay,
But
please.
I didn't say what I have. If
Oh, Michael. Okay, you.
Well, yes, I have a business. I'm the founder of the Business Growth Network, and I'm the president of the board of the non-for-profit Spread the Bread Media, NFP.
Wow. Okay. All right. Thank you. And just a moment, Wanda, you were going to introduce yourself and tell us what you got. Is that it?
The business,
Okay,
the
so
business.
Margot, did you get the answer you needed? Did you take a tally of what?
Yeah, I think I have because what I wanted to. Yeah, thank you for bringing me back. But what I wanted to do was because it was real important to me that the phone kept clicking in, and so many people were coming in, and I wanted to speak back to Mr. Obi, where he
Okay.
said that he follows the money, and here it is right now on this phone. I think I want to say I got at least about 12 people, or I have at least 8 different businesses that are represented here today, and all of them are pretty much different. And just this start alone, with this many people, if we can come together and meet on a Zoom call, and we really, really identify with what we can do collectively, then we can actually come to the table or come to a dialogue looking at what should we do based on what Mr. Obi said. Because if all of us are non-for-profits or we for-profit or we're LLC or whatever we are, this is a solid foundation. If the few people that are on the phone tonight, if we can unify from just this core, then imagine all of the other people that you all have linked or did collaborations with over the years. This is how it begins. I never worry about what's going on at the top, and I never worry about what's going on in the media. I stay within my means. I'm an insurance agent. I do a lot of insurance, and I've been a consultant all over the place in housing with HUD and all the rest of it. But however, all of us have done a lot of things, so I'm so happy and excited this 2025 that this many businesses and non-for-profits are on this phone tonight. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank
Give
you.
yourselves a hand, ladies and gentlemen, because
Clap,
Margot
clap,
doesn't
clap.
usually praise folks for being on the line. And Obi, she's an advocate of yours. So start the conversation on what should be our first act as a group.
She,
I
she's
mean,
an
'cause we are
advocate
a
of
group.
ours. So I
Yes, sir.
appreciate her. Now, everybody, it's 10 or 12 of us online.
Yes, 10 of us.
Michael, Mr. Perkins told you his lane. I can
Yeah.
use the phrase lane. I got a lane which is A to Z. You got a lane which is media.
Mm-hmm.
What I do, I got something that is really controversial, and everybody's probably gonna say, "Man, how you gonna say something like that?" Uh,
What?
we, we are familiar with this fire that's going on in in California, right?
Yes.
I did research on that property. They got 62% of the population in that fire. Now, first of all, nobody should lose their homes and lives to tragedy. I'm with that. My heart goes out to that. I wouldn't want to be in that position. But my A to Z, I want to explain that to everybody that's in this room where my heart is, where my head is always when I talk about A to Z. 62% of the population in that area is the Korean. 23% of the population in that community is white. 1% is black. Plus, they discriminate against me. Now, my money and resources is gonna go and help redevelop that. How much of that money am I gonna get back to help redevelop an area that is discriminating against me? You and I have got to start figuring out how to take care of our money to take care of us, not anti anybody else. Even with the fact that when she mentioned that she don't think Haitians like us, I mentioned that I didn't like Nigerians about 15 years ago. I have since changed that kind of message because I want us to start figuring out how to find people, like-minded people throughout the diaspora so we can fix the division between us. That's my message. And I got a lane now, which is follow the money. So media to me, all over the diaspora. I want media. When Oprah went to South Africa and bought those young people desks and stuff, I want the media to go throughout the whole diaspora and do the same thing that the media did against me, making me look like Mantan Moreland and stupid as black people, and start making me look good and the best thing since sliced bread. And I'm holding the world up by in my hands on one hand and the other world. And if you got one drop of black blood, make me feel proud. We're no longer dealing with affirmative action. The affirmative action means that I'm in the room to teach and learn, and I'm 16 to 20% of the population in America. Wherever there's people, we should be demanding that we have a presence in that room based on our population. That's my
and look, Obi says we're 16 to 20% of the population. Well, they say we're 13% of the population. Whatever the number is, what you're saying is we need to be in that room. That percentage of us need to be in that room. And I
exactly.
agree with that. There's nothing in the world that exists that we shouldn't be a part of because we are part of it.
Hey, Wanda Carter.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to see your cameras zoom around everybody that's on this telephone so that we can make sure when we talk about we should be in the room, are we prepared and are we ready for the room, and have we identified what areas that we should be in? But I'd like to see that camera that you have zoom in on everybody that's on this phone. And let's see if we can make sense. And let's see if we can make sense of this conversation we had. And I would like to, before we go, I would like to make sure we hear from Wanda Muhammad.
I would like to take about 2 minutes uninterrupted, if I may, and give my perspective. I've definitely been listening, and let me just say, I do have a calling on my life, and it is to bring a message. And this is a reluctant message, but I'll make it quick. We need a brand new way of thinking about things. Because everything we said here, and again, I would like to be uninterrupted.